Hey everybody, this is Singhania. Today, in this podcast too, I'd like to share the fifth chapter of the book How to Be the Complete Professional Salesperson, written by Robert L. Sook. So let's get started. The fifth chapter says Selling Patterns. In developing any sales presentations, there are actually four phases or steps. Step number one, the approach. You must get the prospect's undivided attention. You won't sell a man who has something else on his mind. Step two, a full explanation of the product. Tell him and show him what the product will do for him. Step three, create desire and show the need. Make the prospect feel and need for your product and make him want to own it. Show him what it will do for him. Step 4, the close. Have confidence and ask for the order. The first three steps are obviously wasted if the fourth step, the close, is not completed. A sales presentation that covers this fourth step is presented dramatically is a professional presentation. It will produce results. Remember, the way you say it, your delivery is also very important. Present your idea dramatically, speak clearly, put pep and enthusiasm into your voice, and do not speak in a monotone. In other words, be an actor. A sale is like a performance on a stage. Your prospect is your audience. Let's examine each of the four basic steps for more closely. Approach. The approach is one of the most important factors in successful selling. Without an effective approach, you are in the same position as a football team who never get the ball. And if a team doesn't get the ball, it can't score points. Likewise in sales, if you don't have proper exposure to your prospect, you cannot score. The first few seconds of your approach are the most important. Why? Because people often form snap judgment of other people, and you only have one chance to make that first impression a good one. Remember the computer salesperson who said the paperwork pirate plunders profit. He used a headline sentences. It only took him 3 seconds to say it, and he had the buyer's undivided attention. In other words, say something short and sweet, put a punch in it, get your prospect's attention, and you will be on your way to making a sale. To prepare yourself, why not write down a few short, powerful openers and try them out? Be like a newspaper reporter. Figure out a few headlines to capture interest and hold your prospect's attention. And if these first few openers don't get you the proper results, then try a few more until you have several that really will work for you. You will be amazed at the results you will get. Of course, you shouldn't use trickery in your approach. There's a difference between trick and trickery. Teacher uses tricks to teach. Parents use tricks to get a child to take medicine or to eat his dinner. But trickery is a deception and can only be used once. You never get another chance. Good approaches work without trickery. If you know your prospect's needs, you will find many good approaches. If you know your product and its benefits, then an easy and simple approach becomes obvious. For instance, the office machine salesperson may say to his prospect, Mr. Jones, you know, speed and accuracy means more production at low cost. By saying this, the salesperson has made a short and snappy comment to arouse Mr. Jones' interest. And once he has Mr. Jones' interest, he can go on and elaborate. Another good approach is the one used by a very successful computer salesperson. He tells his prospects, eliminate the possibility of error and you will increase the opportunity for profit. In their first statement, which took only 5 seconds, he has aroused interest and won attention. It's easy. Try writing down such openers for your own selling situations. Go over the service plan and the product you sell and see which features you arouse immediate attention and interest in just 10 seconds. These floor polishers will do the job in a half time and eliminate back-breaking labors, says the door-to-door salesman, and the housewife invites him in for a demonstrations. These electric mixers will mix a cake in 1/5 the time and give you much smoother batter. It makes baking fun, says the salesperson. Short, sweet, and snappy, the housewife is all ears and eyes. The salesperson who is selling some type of service must be wary of his approach. He is selling intangibles and he can't let his customer feel and smell or see his product. But if he can create a desire and make the prospect feel a need for his service, then he will make a sale. In other words, he must appeal to his prospects' buying impulses. Service is easy to sell if you find out what your prospect needs. The linen supply salesperson who is trying to sell a buyer in a large company his towel service says, I know you were interested in your employee's health. Thus, he makes a statement that can only receive a yes answer, and he gets the buyer's attention. You are not using paper towels, he continues, and the floor or your washroom are all cluttered up with weight. Unsanitary towels. The buyer becomes even more attentive because he has been in a washroom himself and has seen with his own eyes the scene that the salesperson had just described. Now, say the salespersons, we can put rolled towels in each washroom and you will have a clean, soft, fresh, sweet smelling towel when you want it, and a cleaner, more sanitary washroom. Furthermore, a rolled towel is more pleasant to use than messy paper towel, and it will make your employee a little happier. It will also cost you less than the paper towels because they are being wasted. What this linen service salesperson has done is to paint a picture that his prospect can identify with. He has shown and described a situation relating to the prospect's need, and thus he has appealed to a buying impulse and several of them. A full explanation of the product. Once you've gotten in a see your prospect and you have this undivided attention, you then naturally show him exactly what your product will do for him. A good sales presentation should explain the benefits of your product in great details so that when questions can be left in a prospect's mind, whatever you will be selling. You must make sure that your prospect understands exactly what he is going to buy. If he does not understand how the product works, he will become confused and will not be able to make a decision. Many times, a confused customer, rather than admit his ignorance about your product, will create imaginary reasons why he does not want to buy. Thus, this is important. It is very important that your presentations include a clear-cut description of your product and of what it will do for the prospect. It is also important that you show him why and how your product is better than your competitor. And of course, You must inform him about cost, terms, and methods of payment and financing. Finally, ask for the order. Create desire and show the need. If you have explained the benefits of your product, the real selling job is make your prospect want your product more than he wants his money. This is the part of selling. Sales is sizzle and not the stick. Consider the successful automobile salesperson who is trying to sell a man and his wife a new Lincoln Continental. The salesperson has been paying close attention to the husband's reactions to various remarks he has made, and he has also closely watched the wife's reactions. He has asked them in a course of the conversations their names and address, and thus he knows that they live in a fashionable suburb. Then he says, "Sir, just picture the admiration of your neighbors when they see you drive up in your new Continental. There'll be always eyes, and can't you just feel the smooth power when you step down on a gas to pass a slow-moving truck that's holding you back? Those power brakes will also give you an extra feeling of safety, along with the front and back seat belt when you and your family are out driving. You own that, your life, your wife and children. And our new heavy stock absorbers give you the sensations of riding on a cloud. The power steering takes all the work out of parking of your wife. And I'm sure she'll appreciate it." After this, the prospect looks questioningly at his wife, and she looks wishfully at him. The salesperson then says, "Your car is 4 years old and then the engine has lost some of its zip and smoothness. I'll never again be able to give you as much in trade as I can at this time. Would you like to drive a new one home this afternoon while it's still light so that your friend and neighbors can see it?" And she says, "I'm just crazy about it, dear lads." This salesperson has aroused his customers' desire by picturing the pride of ownership and the potential discomfort and unhappiness at not having the new car. He has given them a glimpse of the pleasure and satisfactions they will get out of the new car with all of its power feature. He has also appealed to an important buying impulse, their desire for admiration for their friends and neighbors, and at the close, he has asked for the order. The close. The most important part of the entire sales presentation in a close, and oddly enough, most salespersons are weaker here than at any other point in their presentations. This is ironic because the first three steps of the presentations may be executed properly only to be rendered irrelevant when the salespersons can't close the sale. The effective close must cover several key points. First, the salesperson must show his customer how to buy. He must make it an easy decision for the customer to make, and he must confidently assume that he has made the sale. Each of these points will be discussed in more details in later chapter. Too many salespeople work their hardest on a first three steps in selling and then put together a haphazard close, whereas a great amount of thoughts and concentrations in developing a successful sales presentation should be in the closing. Now guys, it's the summary of this chapter, so listen this very carefully. Summary. Start now and make a list of headline approaches, and you will be on and your way making more and easier sales. Develop complete knowledge and understanding of what your product or service will do. Be equipped to answer all the questions that may be asked of you. study techniques on how to make your product sound very desirable. If necessary, use the dictionary and find descriptive words that paint a vivid words picture. If you're missing your approach and explanation of your product, you will not get a chance to close the sale. By the same token, if you cover the first 3 steps expertly and do not have an effective close, then the result will be the same: no sale. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the chapter about selling patterns. So there is 4 steps in selling: the approach, the full explanation of the product or an opportunity, and the create desire and show the need, then finally ask for the order, that is closing. If you do this 4 thing consequently, or if you do this 4 thing in systematic order, then you can be a professional salesperson. Wish you all the best and stay tuned for the next video. Until then, to not miss my videos, subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon button and like button, and if you want something more, then write down on comment below. I will reply to you, I will get back to you. Thank you very much for being connected, and if you like this English, then you repeat after me, then you can learn English better and grab this knowledge. Use in your sales techniques in selling time and get better results. Thank you, wish you all best. Bye bye, take care.